good, good.
Last week on Roughing It Out, we introduced two new teams, the Wildcats and the Sea Warriors, and they immediately got stuck into their first challenges.
For the time together, we didn't really have a strategy. We were kind of just running around and looking for stuff.
And it was really difficult, like, working as a team because we didn't really know how each other, like, worked then because we had just met each other.
But it was the Sea Warriors who grabbed the advantage by winning the first challenge.
Sis, we found glue and stuff. No, we never found.
Now they just found their last item, and that is dough for making the stick bread.
It was really annoying, like, watching the other group just sit down knowing that they've got all their stuff and that they're going to get the head start.
We had a 5-minute head start, but I think we completely wasted it.
Even with the 5-minute head start, it seems like the Sea Warriors are struggling a little bit. Could it be because of communication? I don't know. I-Rough Kids Sudwater Environmental Education Center. Apho bazokwenza i-survival challenges zabo zokuqala.
Masijonge zenzanjani i-team.
No, you have to be close. When I was, the fire was busy going, and then I went to the tent, like I was everywhere. And then I went to the tent, but we didn't have such a good, like, first idea.
What's the idea, man? Bruh, you said you have an idea, now you should come with your idea. Then we're gonna do another layer like this.
So then I came up with another idea to make the tent like come from where the bushes were, and then just tie it by the table, like underneath the table. And then we took, like, you know, those sticks, and then we, like, put it through the tent into the ground and stuff.
It seems like Akil is leading his team with all his different ideas, and they all seem to be working. Now they're on to boiling their water.
Guys, what's your plan? What are you doing here?
We are sticking all the birthdays together to make it bigger.
Okay.
And
nice, good idea.
We're going to, like, hang it off the trees at, like, an angle so that you can sleep underneath it.
Okay, nice.
When I heard about the survival challenge, I felt nervous because I wasn't sure how we were going to make our shelter. But when we were planning together and we all gave our ideas and it started coming together, I felt a bit more calm.
How are you doing it?
We're sticking these together to make one, like, big blanket, I guess.
Okay, so the Wildcats were at a little bit of a disadvantage with 5 minutes off the clock, but they seem to be making up time nicely.
As soon as the fire started, we cleansed the water. We cleaned the water. The only problem was that there was not a lot of wood, so every time we had to go there and get wood and go and get wood, and that took a lot of time. Tiffany and I were mainly working on the shelter, so we were just fixing the holes, and, like, we basically made the whole shelter. And the boys were making the fire, and they did most of the cooking. And I was chopping vegetables. Levo was helping me chop vegetables, and we were just all everywhere, like, taking chances and stuff.
Ons het saamgestem dat as die meisies halfpad is met die shelter, dan moet die boys change. Want Akil het 'n plan uitgewerk vir die shelter, maar toe wil hy niks doen nie. En ek en Georgia was besig om die goedes te skaal.
It was quite, like, split up. Like, we didn't really work together that well. It was like we did this and the boys did that.
I helped with the shelter because we were a bit struggling. It was, like, falling apart. So I decided that we can do 2 lengths on the sides and the other side for them to be like an entrance in the front.
We holding the tent.
Making, like, another patch for the tent.
Yeah, for, like, the sides there.
So So for building the shelter, we were given black bags, and we started off with like spanning the string, and then we were going to stick the black bags on individually, but that was not working. So we took the black bags and we put them on the floor and we taped them all together to make a top. Then we like stretched it over, but it wasn't really big enough, so we started to fill in the gaps.
So it's like sagging over here, so I'm just getting a string and tying it to the tree to make sure that it doesn't sag too much.
We're doing the same on the side, so the entrance is in there. So side.
And then might put something at the back here, but I don't think we have to. Thank you.
En zoals ons aangegaan het, halfpad van die shelter, het ek in Georgia gegaan om die groentein goed te skil. En toe het ons onze olie en onze eie in die pot gegooid.
So much progress from the Sea Warriors. Their potjie is cooking and their structure is almost up.
Oh, can you hold here, please?
We are going to use our string and then we're going to try to make 2 holes in the corners, and then we're going to put our string through and tie it onto the bush. Then we're going to try to find 2 rocks and tie the string onto the rocks and take 2 strings through it at the bottom. Through the holes at the bottom, make a huge knot so that it doesn't come loose.
When we were going to do our shelter, we weren't sure how we were going to do it. So Katie thought, let's just take the black bags and tape them all together to make the roof. Then I thought, okay, that could be a cool idea. And then I thought we could use the strings and tie them around the branches to make it stand up. And then I thought we could also make a bottom for the insects.
I'm adding an extra layer here because there's a whole lot of snails. That no one wants the snails to come through. I really enjoyed the shelter building part the most because I enjoy like making things at home, and that's like up my street. I love doing creative things and seeing how things could work.
Okay, it looks like the Wildcats are ready to pitch their tent. Let's see how it goes.
With the tent, we all worked together with the tent, with the sellotape, and we were helping everywhere. For the floor, we had to make more plastic bags. So we cut the middle open and made it bigger, and we set it down on the floor.
We were all excited to make this food, and we were all chopping the vegetables, and Ayanda and Eunice was taking care of the fire, and Katie and I were cutting it up and cutting up the vegetables and things.
Guys, ready to put the potjie on? Okay. No, so we need to brown the meat first.
What's in your potjie? Do you not need some water?
I've got some oil in here. We did it at a camp last year, and you just use the oil in the meat.
Yo, that fire is making me cry. My eyes are watering.
Guys, can you help me? So you just need to make the meat go brown. So you just mix it around so it doesn't burn. I took the role of leadership, but it wasn't like that much of I was the leader. It was kind of everyone doing their own thing, everyone consulting everyone else about how they should do things.
I need the meat to be nice and brown. That's what we need. And it's going very well. Abantu ababelidisha kitim bendim no Katie because esiyenza more than abanye. So lesibane sibaxelela bangayenza leni. So lesibane sihamba kanjalo. Sibane siyenza yonke into.
It seems like the Wildcats are doing really well. They've got their potjie on the fire. I can smell the flavors. They've got their shelter. I don't know if you can see behind me, but it looks great. It looks amazing. But the whole dynamic, everyone's coming together as a team and working well.
Okay, so guys, your pot is almost ready. What about your meat?
It's under the table.
Oh my word! Oh. I can't believe it. Yo! So okay, guys, let's
Put it in the pot.
Come on.
Where's
Let's
the...
go. Come on. Let's go. We need to put... I can't believe we forgot. Okay. Don't be shy.
Here.
Nice. And then guys, we just have to leave it and cook. Okay,
Guys, want to taste.
I can't. Oh! Okay. The sauce is really nice.
My favorite part of the challenge was making the food because at home I don't really get like a chance to make food and stuff. But then on that challenge I could like cut the vegetables and make the food and stuff. And I actually started the fire, which was very cool for me.
So ek het al tevore 'n potjie gedoen nou want my ouers doen dit sê elke naweek. En toe het ek vir hulle gesê om dit te doen, maar hulle het hulle Inika
I think the person who was like mostly taking charge and going everywhere, I think that was me. But when it came to the tent and stuff, Georgia really had good ideas. And when it came to the food, I was mostly in charge of the food. And Georgia and Tiffany were in charge of the tent. And Lebo was in charge of like cutting vegetables and helping me with the food.
Flour on you so it doesn't get stuck when it's busy cooking.
And on your hands.
Yeah.
Okay. How many pieces are we making? There's 4 of us, so we put 4 pieces on. Okay. 8. Like pull it down, pull it down. Do you think we can?
Down, it's gonna be something like a panini bread, I think.
And then we chop it up. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Just join it.
My least favorite part was when I was making the dough by the fire, like because me and Lebo and I we were busy making the dough into like vegetables. And our tray that the meat was in, we just like washed it out with some purified water. Well, not purified water, but normal water. And then we took it and then we put out, like, because our dough was too big to put on the stick because we already had purified water on there. And we had our puchikos on there.
Okay guys, so I see that you decided not to do the stick bread. What's going on here?
We decided not to do the stick bread because it wasn't working, and so we didn't have enough time to like do the stick bread and the puchikos. So we decided to do it very quickly and just make like big balls of like dough and to make it nice, like almost like muffins, but bread muffins.
Okay, I see. But it was very smart of you guys.
And also, there's more for us now.
I don't know about those muffins.
This has proven to be quite an interesting challenge, as it has seriously put the rough kids to the test. Stay tuned after the break to see how it all plays out. Before the break, the rough kids were continuing their shelter building and then got on to cooking their food.
Okay. The sauce is really nice. It is disgusting.
But cucumber's amazing.
What are these sticks for? To wrap the bread around. I'm making the stick bread. Or we can do it, I was going to say you do this. I've seen people do it.
Almost like that, but
like that. I learned that like working together is really important to like get to your goal, I guess. And communication as well, making sure everyone knows what to do and what they're going to do when they're finished.
I'm making my own, trying a new technique. What do you guys think? Should we put these on the fire now? Should we wait a while? Or should we do it now? Now, should we try? Okay, let's try. How long do you think these will take? Half an hour? That's long.
Looks like the Sea Warriors are all settled and are just waiting for their food to cook.
For the first challenge, I know that we could do better, but it was a bit rough, but I actually like my teammates, they're very cool.
Yeah, but this one's burning like. Yeah, it was this oil. Hey guys, what is that? What's ghost food? This actually doesn't look. No, it's just a roll. Yeah. Whoa, what are you doing? You're like annihilating the roll. Whoa. Okay.
So we didn't put it on the stick. We like just took foil, wrapped it around the dough, put it in the fire, so like the rest burnt out.
This guy putting it exactly on the burnt places.
The pot is going nice.
What I enjoy most about the experience is cooking
Because at home I always cook with my mom. Delicious. Dis Ivan. Because this Tata Tina.
We work together really well, like everyone helping out, because Ayan started helping with the chopping up of the vegetables and Eunice helped us with finishing off the shelter. So we're just waiting for our poiki to finish cooking, so we surrounded it with our bread. And we're just finishing the shelter and cooking the bread.
All right, guys, so you have 5 minutes left on your challenge.
So clean up your camps and get ready for presentation.
I was a little bit worried with our poiki kos because I never actually made a poiki kos before and tasted it, but it came out perfectly.
Guys, you must find pretty flowers and things like that to decorate the table.
Okay, flowers that make it plating purifying water.
I'm dishing the food and I'm getting ready for presentation. I hope the presenters like it because we put a lot of effort into it.
And we hope she's gonna like it because we took a lot of effort to do it.
So this is the Sea Warriors tent. It looks a little bit sturdy. There's a few holes here though, so I don't know how it would protect them against the rain. And there's a corner there that's kind of a bit detached. So not a bad job for the Sea Warriors, but it could be a little bit better.
I think we should have thought, we kind of just made our shelter without properly designing it or planning how we were going to do it. And that made the shelter a lot less sturdy and have a lot more holes. So.
So this is the Wildcats tent. It looks pretty sturdy and there's quite a large surface area, so it looks like quite a lot of them will be able to fit in the tent. I don't see as many holes as the Sea Warriors. It looks like they have a little bit of a door here and they even have a covering underneath. Pretty sturdy.
It's time for me to taste what the Sea Warriors have done. It looks really good. Presentation is key and I'm very impressed. It's the first time I'm sampling the Rough Kids cooking and I have to say, guys, I'm very impressed. Now the meat.
I felt like our pochicos was better because ours was like soupy and this is like dry.
Very, very nice.
How's the meat prepared?
The meat is cooked, it tastes nice, there's flavor, and presentation is key, so an A+ for that. Let's try the bread.
You can dip it
In the sauce. Let's try it out. Very nice. All right, so I'm here with the Wildcats on their table. Katie, please take us through what you have prepared for us.
So with the poiki, it consists of meat, vegetables such as beans and potatoes, some carrots as well. And yeah, we all helped prepare it. We had some onions and the meat first, and then we put it all together and set it to cook. Then we did the stick bread, and yeah, we put it on the fire, and it took a little while to do it, but we got there eventually.
I have to say I'm very impressed by the layout and I can't wait to dig in. The potatoes are nice and soft. Very impressive, Wildcats. Now for the meat. Oh, it looks so good. It tastes really good, guys. Well done, Wildcats.
You're supposed to try out purified water too.
Have you boiled it? Everything set?
Yes.
All right, cool. Tastes pretty cool to me. All right, guys, now that we know that the challenges on Roughing It Out are a whole lot of fun and to learn new things, unfortunately, we have to choose a winner.
In the tent section, both teams performed very well. However, one tent was a little bit better than the other as it had less holes and was a bit more stable. So the Wildcats win the tent challenge.
I was very impressed by both teams in the second stage, the food tasting. Even though I was very impressed by the presentation from the Wildcats, I have to give it to the Sea Warriors for taste. But the Sea Warriors forgot to present their purified water, which makes the Wildcats the overall winners for this challenge.
Team yami I win Wildcats and I felt great. Kamnandi, Mumnandi. And the team yami win because sesayenza kahle into ukutya bekucheka and anything is warriors ezalibala ufake purified water but in sesayenza.
We won the sheltering and we won also the presentation because we had our purified water on the table and the other team didn't have the purified water. And we won the shelter because our shelter was a bit more sturdier and we also had like a blanket for us to cover ourselves. And when we heard that, we were so excited and overjoyed.
We were definitely upset to lose because it was our first challenge and we really wanted to win. But we kind of knew that the other team were going to win because we could see the whole time that they were ahead of us and that their shelter was better. But I think our poke was definitely better because theirs was a bit dry. But yeah, we kind of knew they were going to win, and so we weren't too upset and like we were happy for them, but we definitely like wanted to win our first challenge.
We won that challenge and we were really excited because it was like our first challenge that we had won, and I think it put us on like a good foot to complete any other challenges.
1, 2, 3, Wildcats! Well done, Wildcats. You have now earned yourselves 20 rough points.
All right, while the Wildcats are celebrating their very first win for season 4, let's check out the scoreboard.
So the very first points for season 4 goes to the Wildcats. After some tough survival challenges, they've earned themselves 20 rough points, taking the early lead in the competition.
Next week, the Rough Kids continue their adventures as they take on a crazy obstacle course. Nice, Gotha.
Don't let go, hey? Whatever you do.
Oh, careful.
Second challenge for me was tough because everybody made it through and I made it through a bit and I was stuck.
The bucket is on the other side, however, Katie had to go back to help the other members.